so if you're out there, come on up. Okay. Here comes one. All right, my name is Diane Jordan. I am president of the Tazewell County Republican Women. We are hosting this tonight. On behalf of our organization, we would just like to thank you all for coming. This is going to be a really exciting night for everyone. Thanks for coming to support the candidates and the Republican Party in general. We want our voices to be heard, for sure. Thank you all. Thank you to the candidates for taking time out of their schedules to come. Thank you all. I also want to thank the American Legion. They are in the concession stand, so make sure and go visit them and get some concessions. All right, so what our thought was in this is we wanted to bring your ballot to life. So this is what we did. We really think it's important to educate yourselves and to know who you're voting for. And so our group, the Tazewell County Republican Women, our slogan is to educate, empower, and encourage. Woo-hoo! So that's what we're hoping happens tonight. Let's see. Hi. This is my vice president, Nancy Fite. A huge help. Yes. Okay. So I just have one more announcement. We also have a table right down in front here that has some of our Tazewell County Republican women swag. If you want to buy a t-shirt like this, you can pick ours out because our Republican sign, the elephant has eyelashes. Girls, you know you like the lashes. Okay. So that's it for now. I wanted to just hope that this night is really exciting for everyone and helps everyone get a good understanding of who you're going to be voting for. They will be around afterwards. You can meet them, talk to them, ask them questions. Whatever you want to do, hang around and make an evening of it. It's beautiful. The storm didn't hit us, and we're very thankful. So educate, empower, and encourage. I hope we do that tonight, and I hope we ride this red wave into November. I would like the Tazewell County Republican Women who are on the board to please stand up and be acknowledged because they've been such a huge help. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. And as with all of our meetings, we have monthly meetings. We meet on the second Monday of every month. We start them with a prayer, and then we do the pledge. So I've asked Nancy to lead both of those.
If you are able to stand up, go ahead and rise with me, please. And we'll pray. Father God, we gather together in this beautiful spot today, and we invite you here. Your presence is welcome here, Lord Jesus. We need you here. I'm thankful for each person that came tonight. I pray we'll be informed and encouraged by what we hear. I'm thankful for each person seated behind me. Willing citizens who love Illinois and are willing to step out of their comfort zones and into roles where they can be ambassadors of change. I pray your protection over each and every one of them. Lord, we ask forgiveness for things that are going on in our state that do not honor you. Embolden us to stand for truth, integrity, and biblical principles as we watch our state moving further and further away from you. It's why we're here, Lord. We're deeply concerned by what we see. This is our home, and we long for restoration in our state. And finally, Father, I specifically ask for safety in our communities, healing in our families, and your presence and protection over our schools. In the name of Jesus, amen. Amen. Let's say the pledge together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Next, I'm going to ask that the mayor of this fine town come on up. Mayor Kaufman, please.
You'd have to say this is a fabulous event to have here in Morton, Illinois. One of the first events they're having with all the candidates together, so everybody can see them, meet them, and listen to them. So it's just a real opportunity. I have to thank Diane Jordan when she called and said she was planning this event. And she said, well, I'm surprised it just keeps growing, Jeff. I says, Morton, they're going to turn out. So thank you all for turning out. But let's give a big round of Morton welcome to all these candidates. And I have to mention, we do have one up here that's born and bred in Morton, Illinois, from the Witsi-Howder clan, Dr. Howder, running for state representative. I try to sell Morton and promote Morton any way I can, so thank you all for coming out, and I think you'll enjoy the evening, and God bless you. But isn't it nice to start an event with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance? I'm a firm believer you keep God in government, we won't have the chaos we got today.
Thank you, Mayor Kaufman. We all know that election integrity is so important and it is compromised. So we have people that are willing to be poll watchers and who are willing to be election judges on election day. And if you have been a poll watcher or an election judge, would you please rise so that we can acknowledge you and thank you? And also, I wanted to recognize any precinct committeemen that might be here as well. Would you please rise? Thank you all for your service. And there's still opportunity to be a poll watcher or an election judge for the November 8th election, in case anyone's interested. Okay, let's see. Nancy's going to introduce, do you have a note? Okay, 1 second. Nancy's going to be introducing the candidates. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to start with our Tazewell County Board. We don't have all of them here this evening, but those of you that are here, please stand. And then I'll move right along with Republican candidate for treasurer, Hannah Clark. Our current Tazewell County State's Attorney and our Republican candidate for the 12th judicial seat, Stu Unholtz. Our Tazewell County Treasurer, Mary Burris. Tazewell County Clerk, John Ackerman. Tazewell County Sheriff, Jeff Lauer. I believe in the crowd we have our Representative Keith Summer. Thank you for being here with us. And running for his seat, as he will be retiring, we have our Republican candidate, Bill Howder, for the 87th House. Republican candidate for the 91st House, Scott Preston. Republican candidate, Travis Weaver, for the 93rd House. Our current state senator, Sally Turner. Representing our current senator in the 53rd district for Jason Barrickman. Who do we have here for Jason?
Jordan Baker.
Jordan Baker, thank you. Our Republican candidate for the 46th state senator, Desi Anderson. Representing our U.S. Senate candidate for Kathy Salvi. And she did not make it, sorry about that. Representative candidate for comptroller, represented here for Shannon Teresi. Representative candidate for Secretary of State, Dan Brady. Republican candidate for the 17th Congress, Esther Joy King.
Okay, there's a few that weren't able to make it tonight. Senator Neil Anderson, he is from the 47th district, which is Pekin, Canton, up to Kewanee. He sends his regards. Representative Noreen Hammond, she's with the 94th, and that is southwestern Tazewell County. And then also Dennis Tipsword, and that is northeast Tazewell County, including Washington. So that kind of gives you an idea. We really just wanted to put a face with a name so that all you, when you are voting, you've seen them. Hopefully you've met them. Hopefully you want to be like them. And so that's what this night is all about. Okay, so the next few we're going to have that are still running, and their campaign is going strong. So I wanted to give them a few moments to introduce themselves to us here in Central Illinois. And the first one is going to be Esther Joy King. She was running for the 17th District, the U.S. House.
What's up, Tazewell County? Now, I remember a day, it was about 2 years ago. How many of you were here for the Young Republicans of Central Illinois, Young Conservatives of Central Illinois? How many of you were here way back on that evening, right here? Yes, we have come so far in those 2 years. Now, something happened that night. That was actually the very first night I met Senator Darren Bailey, and now he's our nominee for governor of Illinois. Now, Mayor, he said that he wanted to put in a good word and always pitch Morton. And all you had to say is, you're one of the most fiscally responsible cities in the state of Illinois. You guys have all your bills paid for here in Morton. Let's give Morton a round of applause. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Esther Joy King. I am running for United States Congress in the Illinois 17th Congressional District. So many of you here tonight will be in the Illinois 16th. When you voted in the primary, do you remember, did you have Darren LaHood on your ballot? Yes. So you're in the Illinois 16th, and Darren is here. He's a current sitting representative. Isn't he doing a great job? Yes. And I can tell you as a candidate, I have had no better mentor and friend and supporter than Darren LaHood. Darren is truly fighting for our country. Let's give Darren a round of applause again. Now, I want to take just a moment and outline the fight that's in front of us in November 2022. I believe we're making a choice as a country. Are we going to choose, under the Biden administration, to barely survive? Or are we going to bring accountability to Washington, D.C. and choose to boldly succeed? I'm telling you, I'm choosing boldly succeeding as America. When I'm out out talking with voters. My very favorite campaign activity is knocking on doors. And when I ask people, what matters to you? 10 times out of 10 right now, man, Esther, I can barely fill up my gas tank. Or a mom told me just the other day, she said, I had to check my bank account to see if I could buy groceries for my kids. That is not the American dream that we deserve. How many of you know we deserve better than that? Absolutely, absolutely. In the United States of America, we deserve better than an out-of-touch president. A president who can't even read a teleprompter. We deserve better. And that's why I'm running for United States Congress. I'm the daughter of Christian missionary parents, so my parents instilled in me a spirit of service. I'm also third-generation military. My grandfather served in World War II in Vietnam. My uncles served in Vietnam and Korea. My father served as well in Germany. As a third generation, I'm a JAG officer in the United States Army. As a third generation member of the military, they instilled in me, my generations before me taught me, America is worth the fight. I am not giving up. We are worth the fight. Right here in Morton, in Tazewell County, in Pekin, in South Pekin, in Peoria, and everywhere in between. You are worth the fight. And that is what is before us. That is what is on the ballot in November. Are we going to choose to stand up and fight? Are we going to choose to boldly succeed and move towards American energy independence? Yes. Are we going to move towards fiscal responsibility? Say it with me. Yes. Are we going to move towards supporting our law enforcement? Yes. Are we going to move towards taking back our schools? Yes. Are we going to move towards accountability to Washington, D.C.? Yes. We can do that from right here in Tazewell County. In the entire United States, and I know Darren's going to talk about this, Darren LaHood is going to talk about this a little bit more later. In the entire United States, to fire Nancy Pelosi, we only have to win 4 congressional seats. Yes. Let me tell you, if you knew that with your time, your resources, if you just gave 1 hour a week, you could help fire Nancy Pelosi, would you do it? Oh, yeah! Yes. From right here in Tazewell County, this race for the Illinois 17th, it's one of the top 3 competitive races in the entire country. So if you're willing to give 1 hour a week, if you're willing to give $25, whatever you're willing to do, from right here where we sit tonight, we can fire Nancy Pelosi. Yes. So I have 4 volunteers. Will my team in the back raise your hand, please? They're going to go around with sign-up sheets. If you want to help fire Nancy Pelosi, sign that sheet. Get involved. Whether you want to be a poll watcher, whether you're willing to make phone calls, whether you can knock doors, we need everybody involved. Because together, we are the army that is going to fight. In the Army, as a JAG officer in the United States Army, they train us. Esther, continue mission. Soldier, you must complete mission. That's how they train us. They empower us to complete mission. We are in the Army, and we have a mission: save America. And I am pledging to you, I will complete mission. Will you join me? Yes, because America is worth the fight. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. And this is my fault. I made a bad transition when Nancy was introducing everyone. We did not forget about the Darrens. They are both here. Sorry, gentlemen. Anyway, we want to be especially mindful right now and thankful that Darren Bailey, Senator Darren Bailey, can be here as our candidate for the governor. We are grateful for him. And thank you to Congressman LaHood for being here as well and all that you do for us. I'm really sorry about that. Okay, so next we have the candidate who's running for Illinois Comptroller. Her name is Shannon Teresi, and she is here from upstate Crystal Lake. She's driven down because we wanted you to meet her. She will be on your ballot, and I wanted to give her a few moments to introduce herself to you.
Hi everyone, who's excited for this November election and the red wave that's coming? So first of all, I want to congratulate everyone who's here today because they had a hard primary and just they put the energy and put themselves out there, and to have the courage to run in this election. I just want to have another round for applause of all these good candidates we have here today. I'm very excited to run with all of them and looking forward to this future. There is hope here in Illinois. So my name is Shannon Teresi, and I am running because Illinois is the most corrupt, fiscally mismanaged, and get this, highest tax state in the nation, and we are going to change that for this November. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Marengo, Illinois, very similar to this town, with a cornfield in my backyard. And on my front porch was a strong sense of community. I am a mom. I have 2 boys, and it's the best part of my day is enjoying time with them. I've been married 16 years, and I am the elected McHenry County Auditor. I'm also, yeah, we got an auditor. So I am also president of the Illinois County Auditors Association statewide, and I have seen what the Madigan machine has done to this state, and we are going to make it the land of Lincoln again this November. So let me tell you about my opponent and why she's not qualified to be comptroller. First of all, she's not even an accountant. She's a career politician. And we're seeing real issues with that. For the last 2 years, she put out qualified financials. That means, Shannon, what does that mean? It means you cannot rely on the financial statements the state is putting out. How can they prepare a budget if you can't have reliable financial statements? That's not acceptable in business. You can't file tax returns with unreliable information. And it's definitely not acceptable for the highest ranking office for the state of Illinois. And I am a CPA. I am a certified fraud examiner, certified internal auditor with a proven track record, and it's been said that I will have the most financial leadership experience that office will ever have before in its history. So as the McHenry County Auditor, and what I'll do as comptroller, in McHenry County, we are AAA bond rated. We have the highest bond rating. We have no debt. I hear like Morton, Illinois, we actually pay our bills on time. And because of this financial due diligence, we've rebated back money to the taxpayers. Yes, this can be done in the state of Illinois if we spend correctly. I heard recently they bought an Abraham Lincoln hat. Well, that sounds good. We need we could buy a hat. But they spent $4 million with a conflict of interest. Then they found out that it was a fake hat. This is not how we should be spending our money on. I think all of you could think of better ways to spend our money on. So as the McHenry County Auditor, we pay bills in minutes. We implemented new technology that we can process and pay bills when they're paid or when they're due. And I've implemented financial systems to do business differently in McHenry County. I've prepared government-wide financial statements, and I've worked with Fortune 500 companies to make sure their financial statements are transparent and reliable to the taxpayer. So there is hope. Illinois can be the envy of every state in the nation. We need to work together. And so as your next comptroller, I will get the state's finances on the right track. So I am running, but we need your help. Like Esther Joy King said, we need to get involved. Every dollar matters. I am the most qualified, but without your help, we will not change the state. And the comptroller's position, I feel, is one of the key positions to changing the direction of the trajectory of the state. So get involved. My campaign needs help, and I'm sure all these campaigns need help. Please come speak with me afterwards. I'll be available. And Shannon Teresi, your next comptroller. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shannon. Okay, so next we are moving on to Representative Dan Brady. He is...
Good. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. How about another nice round of applause for Diane and the women here from Tazewell Republicans. Your chairman over here, Jim Rule, and the First Lady of Tazewell County. Where is she? Right out here. It's real nice to see you. If you get an opportunity, take one of those green Dan Brady yard signs home. Put it out early for St. Patrick's Day next year. It'd be great. I'm Dan Brady, and I am representative presently in the Bloomington-Ormo area. And Representative Keith Summer was here earlier, who I serve with in the State House. And it's a pleasure to do that and to represent you ladies and gentlemen as he's done a fantastic job. How about a nice round of applause for Keith and all the years he's given in public service. And to all the ladies and gentlemen behind me that are here either representing you or trying to represent you on the ballot, from the county level to the congressional level and all of us in between. We can't do it without your help. And we got it through a primary, very difficult primary for all of us. We've got to come back together, and we've got to make sure that come November the 8th, 120 days from today, that we have that red wave we're talking about. We take Illinois back, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people say to me, well, Dan, great, I know, you're a hard worker. Nobody's going to outwork you, Dan. And I said, you're exactly right. I proved that in the Republican primary with your help, many of you, and I thank you again for that. But there's also something else that I have in my race that no one else in the race for any constitutional office in the state of Illinois has. I have no incumbent Democrat seeking re-election. How about that? I've got a Democrat opponent, and going to be very tough Democrat opponent. So I'm not going to do his work for him, so I'm not going to get into his name. But I will tell you that with your help, there's no hell for a climber, and I'm that climber, and we can take the Secretary of State's office back and make sure it does what it's supposed to, and that is serve the public. Serve the public. There's not an office that touches the public lives of Illinois residents on a daily basis any more often than the Illinois Secretary of State's office. And you, ladies and gentlemen, are paying and footing the bill through your tax dollars, and you're getting short services. And that's going to stop with Dan Brady. And it's going to stop because of a lot of different things I'm imposing. Number one, you're not just going to see my picture on a wall at the Secretary of State's office as your Secretary of State. You're going to see me in facilities across the state of Illinois representing, serving the public. That's what this office does. This office is not about public policy. This office is about public service, something I've done my entire adult life, elected and in private business. Public service. And we put the people first. That's what this office is all about. There's many ways I've talked about the campaign trail. Just a couple things. Number one, yes, we need to go digital in a lot of different areas in a lot of different ways in the Secretary of State's office, and we're going to do that. But we're not going to forget how we balance and protect people's ID. And we're not going to forget those that maybe aren't as tech savvy as others and still have the means and ways for them to make sure they get through the lines at the Secretary of State's office and don't have to spend someone's entire Saturday just to get something renewed. We're also going to make it more easier across the state of Illinois when those renewals in different areas, such as libraries, as the chief librarian puts services in there remotely. Grocery stores, like many other states do, and we're not going to staggle business anymore that's already being done when you get a new car and titles or trucks, and they sit for weeks waiting to get to a lien holder in the state of Illinois. We're going to e-title like Florida does and get it done in a couple of days. You ladies and gentlemen pay through your tax dollars for these services. You deserve better services than the 96 facilities across the state of Illinois are giving you right now. We can do that. We can do that by cross-training those employees, staffing those facilities, and making that a priority. And we will with Dan Brady. The office has a limited role in voter elections. And that area right now can be improved upon by digital ID when it comes to voting in the state of Illinois. And I'm going to work towards that. I would love to talk more, but Diane got up. And that tells me I can't talk anymore. So I won't. But I'll just close with this. There's no one that's going to work any harder on your behalf. There's no one that asks for your vote for the benefit of an office that serves more Illinoisans on a daily basis than Secretary of State and I as your candidate. I would love to stay and visit a little bit longer. I tried to visit with so many before it started, but I have a dear family member who's very close to the end of her life. Her name's Molly. So I'd ask we just take maybe a minute, think of Molly, and I'm going to try and get back in Bloomington to have a few minutes with Molly. So God bless you all. God bless her. Thank you. And let's have just a minute of silence. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and I ask for your vote on November the 8th. Thank you very much.
Okay, I made another mistake. I turned around to walk back to my seat and saw Cindy Bailey, and I did not acknowledge someone who I admire very much and wanted to make sure that you all acknowledged her as well. Darren's wife, Cindy. Okay, moving on. Congressman Darren LaHood is our conservative leader in Washington, D.C. He's not afraid to support President Trump and America First policies. Most importantly, he never forgets us at home. We couldn't have a stronger advocate for Central Illinois and Tazewell County. Please join me to welcome our Congressman, Darren LaHood.
Well, thank you, Diane, and what a great night to be in Morton. I always tell people, if Illinois and the country was more like Morton, we'd live in a better country and a better state. Morton, Illinois has it going on, that's for sure. So, it's an honor and a privilege to represent you in Washington, D.C., and I couldn't be prouder to be here tonight. I'll tell you this, I'd much rather be in Morton, Illinois than Washington, D.C. any day of the week. Thank you to Tazewell County. If you look at the election that just occurred on June 28th, Tazewell County outperformed almost every other county in the state of Illinois. You got outvoted. And it says a lot about Tazewell County and why everybody is here tonight. So thank you for what you stand for and your values. And let me just echo the thanks for Diane Jordan and the Republican Women and Jim Rule and for what they do to put on this event here today. We wouldn't be able to do it without them. And let me thank all the candidates behind me here for stepping up to run. As has been mentioned, primaries are tough. Primaries are competitive. Primaries are vigorous, but they're good for our party. We believe in competition. And I think Darren Bailey would tell you, and Dan Brady would tell you, they make us better candidates. And primaries are healthy, but we're done with the primary now. And lots of us supported candidates in the primary for governor and other races. But now it's time to come together as Republicans. And we don't have a lot of time between now and November 8th, 120 days. And what's at stake in this election? I don't say this lightly. This is the most important election in my lifetime. Democrats have controlled this state for 3.5 years, driven it into the ground. Democrats have controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency for the last 1.5 years. $5 a gallon gas, record grocery bills. We have supply chain nightmares. We have a state that glorifies abortion on demand. We have a state that wants to take away your Second Amendment rights by confiscating guns from law-abiding citizens. We have a state and a country that doesn't believe in election integrity. That's what's at stake in this election coming up. And why are we all here tonight? Because we care. And we know we can do something about it. And that's why we're here tonight, to talk about what's at stake in this election. What do we believe in as Republicans? We've heard a little bit about it tonight. We believe in freedom and opportunity, the U.S. Constitution. We believe in supporting law enforcement and our veterans. We believe in supporting liberty and the pursuit of happiness in this country as Republicans. But as we all know here tonight, we have to do a better job when it comes to this election. And so it's great that we're all here tonight. And what we're going to do when we leave here is what becomes important. And I'm glad to see Esther's energy tonight. Esther is what I call a majority maker. She's going to help us fire Nancy Pelosi in November. So get behind her. And I know she talked about 4 seats. We've targeted 75 seats that Democrats are in across the country. And we're recruiting a record number of women and minority and veterans to run all across the country that stand for our conservative principles and run on an agenda that talks about those things that we believe in as Republicans. Freedom and opportunity in the U.S. Constitution and election integrity and supporting our police, securing our southern border, doing something about crime. That's what we stand for. And so we've recruited a record number of candidates to do that, to go out there. But we care about things about getting rid of CRT in every federal agency. We ought to do that, right? We support having an ID to vote, which we ought to have in every state. We support promoting patriotic education, teaching every kid to love America, K through 12. That's what we believe in as Republicans. And so tonight is important, and I'm glad we're all here tonight. And listen, when I think about primaries are kind of, I played competitive sports. And primaries are kind of like the preseason, where you pick your quarterback you're going to put on the field. And it is tough, that preseason, going through that competition and those drills and those practices. But we couldn't have a better quarterback than Darren Bailey running for governor in this state. He is our quarterback on the field. And so I look forward to standing with Darren Bailey and Kathy Salvi for U.S. Senate and getting rid of Tammy Duckworth and Dan Brady and Teresa and all these candidates up here. But here's what we have to do, and what all of you have to do. It's what we do when we leave here. Become a poll watcher. Become an election judge. Write a check to Darren Bailey for his governor race. Write a check to one of these other candidates. Get involved on social media. Put a yard sign in your yard. Put a 4x8 sign in your yard. Talk to your neighbors and talk to your friends about what's at stake in this election. These guys are going to work as hard as they can. That's what you're going to hear. But it's all of us. And that's what wins elections. And there is a red wave building in this country. It is building, but it's going to take us to that. Now, what gives me hope, go back to Virginia last November. Biden won Virginia by 11 points. We elected a conservative governor in Glenn Youngkin, who stands for our conservative principles, and beat the Democrat there. That's our Darren Bailey in Illinois for this election. It's up to us to do it. So I look forward to standing shoulder to shoulder with all of you and working as hard as I can to elect Darren Bailey. Please give a warm Tazewell County welcome to our next governor, Darren Bailey.
God bless you. Thank you so much. A government of the people, by the people, for the people can only function with the participation of the people. And you've heard it here tonight, friends. We've got work to do when we leave here. You know, it's interesting. I'm a farmer from Southeast Illinois, and I watch the weather a lot. I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm akin to the weather. And I do know one thing, that people are not moving out of the state of Illinois because of the weather. They're moving out of the state of Illinois because they don't feel safe. They're moving out of Illinois because our schools have failed them. They're moving out of Illinois because of the egregious taxes that are put upon us. And friends, we've been there before as a society. 250 years ago, we decided that we were done with this, and we got together and we went to work, all of us, and we did something about it. And by the grace of God now, we live in a constitutional, God-given republic that every 2 years we have the opportunity to participate. I love asking this question. I want to look across the crowd tonight. Do we have any veterans? Veterans, if you've served our country, God bless you. Veterans, thank you. Thank you. Our veterans put their name on the line. They may have put their life in danger. They may have been called to do that. They may have been called to service for years in the backroom storehouse, keeping the shelves filled up. It didn't matter. They put their name on the line to serve. And when they served, you served to protect our freedoms. Now here's the deal. Friends, as Americans, I think we've grown lazy over the years. We've grown apathetic. I have. I'm going to stand here and tell you. I'm at fault. I'm guilty. Because this wonderful free country that our veterans have fought for and stood for, life's good. I want to be in Southeast Illinois on the farm with my children and our 11 grandchildren. But about 5 years ago, Cindy and I woke up to the reality that our state representative is voting for tax increases. And that's not what Republicans should be doing. We should be standing up for better business, better schools, less government. And unfortunately, we the people have kind of become complacent. And we sit back and we elect people and we send them off to Washington and we send them to Springfield. We send them to City Hall. We send them to the courthouse. We send them to the local school. And we pat them on the back and we say, go get them. And then sometimes we wonder a few years later, what happened? Maybe they quit representing my values. Well, I'll tell you what happened. We weren't involved in government. We failed to be there during the times to encourage them when they were doing things right so that they knew someone was watching them. Maybe we failed to hold them accountable when we disagreed with them. And friends, we have the opportunity to set the record straight this year. We have got an amazing opportunity in front of us. We can take the House in Springfield. We can take the major seats of the state seats. We can take the positions in the Congress and the Senate in Washington. But we have got to be involved to make sure that the men and women that we elect to those positions feel properly equipped to do that. Please, don't just show up to vote and elect people and send them off and go back to everyday life. We have got to be involved in this process. So as Darren suggested, when you leave here tonight, it's a lot like church. We've got a mission to accomplish. How we win Illinois? We get people to turn out and vote. That's how we win. Cook County has 4,000 voting precincts. We need 2 poll watchers in every one of those voting precincts. That's just in Cook County. And then all the other collar counties and the other high-risk areas across the state, we need men and women to serve that day and even serve throughout the process. You may be being called to do that. You can go to BaileyForIllinois.com, talk to any of these wonderful volunteers and supporters with our t-shirts on. We will educate you on how to become a poll watcher. Not just how to be a poll watcher, but what to look out for and what to do, because we have a very heavy responsibility before us on November 8th and before. And friends, I'm going to stand here and tell you, Cindy and I have never been more confident than anything in our lives. The time is now. While the people of Illinois suffer, our governor has the audacity to go the second time out to the East Coast to propose a possible presidency run in 24. What's wrong with this person? That's a tyrant. That's an out-of-touch person who is governing our state, and that is why we have the problems that we do. So we've got to leave here today and we've got to talk about this. We've got to make sure that everyone that we come in contact with, our family members, the people that we work with, the people that we're going to see at the restaurants or across the counter from wherever we're doing business, ask the question, who did you vote for? Who are you going to vote for? And listen to the answer. The harsh reality is about 30% of eligible voters in almost every county in the state They're not voting. They're either not registered to vote or they're simply not showing up. And I don't know about you, but I have a problem with that. If we're going to uphold this wonderful and beautiful Constitution that we have, and if we're going to honor the men and women who have served to protect our country, we must demand better. And just simple encouragement can do that. So friends, I am so honored that the Tazewell County Republican Women would host this tonight, and with help from Jim Rule and others. And I want to tell you something, I wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for my wonderful Proverbs 31 wife, Cindy. That's all there is to it. God bless you. She keeps me in check. People all the time ask her, are you going to stay true to your values? Yeah, I'm going to stay true to my values, because I guarantee you she'll make sure of it. But I want to thank you here in Tazewell County. Early on, almost 2 years ago, after I sued J.B. Pritzker and won in court, we began to be invited all over the state to talk about open up rallies, to encourage churches, to encourage schools, to encourage businesses to stand up and push back and declare our freedoms. And I'll never forget, as we came up here into this area, we pulled off at your a pizza ranch. And this was early on in all the lockdowns, and we saw cars there. And I'm like, pizza ranch, a buffet? But yeah, you was open. God bless you guys. Stand up against this nonsense. Government can never, should never, will never shut us down like we just experienced. We are a free people under a free document, and we have God-given rights, and we must stand and protect those at all costs, friends. I'm so honored to be here with you tonight. I look forward to humbly serving you for the next 4 years. And I'm going to tell you right now, the number one question on everyone's mind is, yeah, but what about Chicago? I want to tell you something. Our friends in Chicago and the surrounding counties, they're just as fed up as you are. Get on our social media sites and you'll see that every day. So thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. When we leave here tonight, we've got work to do. We, the people, must uphold this constitutional republic that we have. And all we have to do is just talk and help people, encourage them to register to vote, to turn out to vote, to educate them on the issues, to inform them on the candidates and why. And I do believe with all my heart that we are going to take Illinois back. But when we do, the competent leaders that you see sitting here, we've got work to do, and we've got to do it right. And when we do it right in Illinois next year, we're going to open the door to freeing our country in 24. So God bless you. Thank you so much. Let's get to work. Let's fire J.B. Pritzker. Let's send him back, and let's never return to where we came from again. God bless you, and thank you.
I made it through. We are going to wrap up here, but I wanted to mention a couple things. First, thank you again for coming. Candidates, thank you as well. Appreciate this very much. And as far as Tazewell County Republicans, we need to band together. We need to join forces. We need to be out there and be more accountable. We need to be able to communicate with one another and tell our beliefs. So please feel free to come to one of our Republican Women's meetings. It's a women's organization, but we have men and women and teenagers and whoever else wants to come. Always open to that. I want to thank the Tazewell County Republican Party and the chairman, Jim Rule. He is sitting over here. Thank you for all of your support all the time. Again, thank you all for coming tonight. These candidates will be around for you to speak to, and I hope that you take advantage of that and put a face with their name so that when you go to the ballot on November 8th, you are able to picture exactly who you're voting for. God bless you all.